opposite where I am. Just been running for 20 minutes now. Saw a public footpath that I hadn't seen before, and I've ended up here, which, as you can see, is pretty scenic. That is the golf course over there that I ran through, so I know where that is. But I'm going to run for an hour and see how I get on. This is pretty thick, as you can see. Still lost, but having fun. So,
Hi guys, so it is the end of the day, it's a Monday. As you can see from the video earlier on, did a run. So I had a client first thing, some chasing around to do, then went for a run and got lost. And despite it being on my doorstep and knowing the area relatively well, I managed to get lost and added an additional 5 miles to a 10-mile route, which I'm okay with, because it was very scenic. I got to see another part of my neighbourhood from a completely different angle, which was actually really enjoyable. And it got me thinking about something that my uncle said yesterday. He was one of the guys in the video from yesterday that I was talking to in the kitchen. And he asked me whether I felt the Ironman was worth it. And of course, I can interpret that in many different ways. But to really truly answer, I needed to understand his question. What did he mean by that? Was the Ironman that I did, the 140.6, was it worth it? Well, worth it financially? Was it worth it spiritually, emotionally? Was it worth it in the context of having to give up? What was it worth? I think that's something that only can be discussed or expanded based on self. Now for me, it was worth it. I learned a lot about self during that journey, and ultimately the event, the pinnacle, the end result, the finish is the smallest aspect, and it's something that I've mentioned time and time again. The journey is the fundamental aspect. So is an Ironman event worth it? Well, that answer is completely dependent on whether or in what context you mean it. It's dependent on how it's framed. It depends on the meaning behind value, behind worth. And because we are all different, we all have different meanings on value and worth. So I gave my answer of whether I thought it was worth it, and my answer was yes, but in many ways. So the reason I wanted to cover that was something that I was digesting, thinking about on my run, whether anything really is worth it, any endurance event, any commitment, and of course it is, providing it's integral to self, it's integral to your journey, to your legacy, to your alignment. Is the 70.3 worth it? Well, absolutely. It's a choice that I've made. It's not something that I have chosen to do against my will. So that's it for today. Just food for thought. If you're on a journey yourself, it doesn't matter what it is, we need to answer and understand the context of worth, of value behind whatever journey you're on. And I think it's an important area to understand fully, the worth, the value, so that if someone asks you whether your journey is worth it, whether your event is worth it, you can answer that truly and honestly from an aligned perspective. So that's it for now. Hopefully not too deep, and you've enjoyed today's video. So catch up with me first thing tomorrow. For now, peace out, be safe, have a good evening.